that house, they found a Union knapsack in the wall. Now we're coming into the residential part of the historic district. And again, you'll see some lovely fencing, brickwork porches. This house is for sale with that cute little young Blades house that was built in 1940. It has 5,000 square feet, 23 rooms, 7 bedrooms. Wow. And as you look at it, it was the family of the man who was moved here to be the CEO of Hatter's Yachts. Moved in here about 3-4 years ago. And, you know, Hatter's Hartsville Yachts in our marine. So this was moved here for his family. It has beautiful stained glass windows, different wood in every room. It is an incredible piece of property. And the bay windows you see, one of his Joneses that was keeping up with the Blades. And as we come down here on your right, one of my favorite houses, the Planter House, which is this house with, again, Italian and flat roof bay windows. I was a bride on the event of her wedding by her parents. And where do you think her parents live? Next door. So you always get mixed reviews on that. Everybody always goes, oh. They always think, I'd see nothing wrong with that. I think I could live next door. Although my in-law children would probably approve of it because my own son. As we cross this intersection, look at this little house here facing this way with the mustard trim. It's the most often moved home. It's been moved 4 times. Been moved 4 times. Now, as the water you see in front of you is the Neuse River, so that's what we're coming up to. And look behind these houses, you'll see as you go slowly by them, flowers and little alleyways and gardens and paths and trees and porches on this side. This is a lovely time at all. A lot of facelifting going on. Come down here to the corner, which is the Charles Slope House, which is the one house that's not owned and maintained, privately owned and maintained. You can see as it is currently tied up in a family estate. We're going to get settled pretty soon because it's beginning to need some loving care. Caleb Radham lived here before he went bankrupt in 1923, and General Ambrose Burnside had this house as his headquarters when he came. He stayed for about 3 months in the John Wright Stanley home and then moved his headquarters to this house. Now all the homes on this side would have been merchants' homes. They back up on the river, on the Neuse River, and look down the side of this one has an incredible garden. The ships would have pulled up and unloaded their ware. Isn't that lovely? Yes, it is. Well, when it rains and blows hard, the Neuse River covers this. Before I tell you how attention to the dependency, this is the Slover dependency. And Mark Twain wrote a story about this that he calls the black cook that was there, the slave that was there when Burnsides came in, was asked if she would stay and cook for the soldiers, and she said yes. And she had been in Virginia, on a plantation in Virginia. She and her 3 sons and husband were all sold away from each other. The youngest one was Henry at the time. He was 9 years old. And she said one of the 54th Massachusetts was banded here. They were going through the breakfast line. The young black soldier was bent over, and she looked at him and saw a familiar mark on his temple. And she said to him, "What's your name, son?" And he looked up and said, "My name is Nate." And it was her son. Now, Mark Twain says that's true. I believe it. I think it is very probable. And he wrote about it in a group of stories called One True Story and Other Essays. This house here belonged to Bayard Wood, who was a female photographer. It's very shallow. It's 15 feet deep in the center. So, which also prohibited its use for, now it's a pleasure marina. But the tides are wind-driven, which means in terms of what you asked, this is sometimes covered with warm water and wind. That's why you see the houses. This house is a Herbert Woodley Simpson house, 1903. I think it has every column, possible, architecturally possible. And they have wonderful gardens that are just now starting to bloom as you look around behind the house and along the fence here. And you will see more, you'll see the flags and more examples of the bear. That little white house